So the business was started in 1860 by my great-great-great-grandfather.
As a sixth-generation funeral director, James Tovey is used to seeing people through the toughest of times. But changes in the way deaths are now registered in England and Wales is making it even more stressful.
It's very difficult for them because the first thing in their minds is that they really want to plan for the funeral to give their loved one the send-off that they want, and they're just left in limbo waiting to sort of make these arrangements. And I can understand it just adds to the distress that they're already feeling.
In September last year, the law was changed. Now, the death certificate of anyone dying of natural causes must be signed off by an independent medical examiner. Previously, it was just a doctor.
The new checks were brought in part following big criminal cases, such as Lucy Letby and Harold Shipman. The government believes that they highlighted the need for an extra layer of scrutiny in all deaths.
But that extra layer is leading to a backlog. Elliot's mother, Anne, died on New Year's Eve. Delays in getting her death certificate meant it was 8 weeks before they could hold her funeral.
Quite frankly, it's ridiculous. When you're already going through, you know, all this pain and suffering as a family, and you can't move on, you can't do anything, you can't arrange anything, you can't feel that they're at peace, you can't put yourself at peace because of a process that's been put in that nobody seems to know anything about.
Both the UK and Welsh governments say they are working to address delays and that the change is aimed at improving safeguards.
Well, it's one of the unintended consequences of what's a well-intended reform of a system. But what has actually happened is that the number of deaths now requiring independent scrutiny has trebled. Now, that can create a lot of complexity for the grief and people being able to grieve their bereavement and in their bereavement as well as they possibly could.
While many understand the reasons behind the new system, there are calls for it to be urgently reviewed. For families like Elliot's, it's a change that made their grief all the more painful. Dan Whitehead, Sky News.